what is happening in the world of free speech and education. We're kicking things off with a deep dive into the legal battle brewing after Charlie Kirk's tragic passing, and how educators are facing firings for their public comments. Next, we're calling out the media's apparent double standard. Why aren't they asking about the violent rhetoric from some supporters of a certain politician? We've got the questions you want answered. Then, the online world is biting back. We're exposing the shocking reality for workers who are getting fired over posts mocking Charlie Kirk's death, and the companies making swift decisions. And finally, we're heading to trial to uncover the chilling threats made against Trump voters. Get all the details and make sure you're subscribed and have hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our breaking updates. The legal tightrope: educators fired for political speech after Charlie Kirk's death. This story is exploding right now, raising critical questions about free speech in the digital age. Following the tragic death of Charlie Kirk at a Utah Valley University event, a wave of educators across the U.S. have reportedly been fired. The controversial part? These firings stem from comments made outside of working hours, sparking a national debate on whether these actions violate the First Amendment rights of teachers and professors. At the heart of this issue is the complex legal landscape governing public employees' speech. Landmark cases like Pickering v. Board of Education established that public employees don't lose their speech rights entirely, but that protection is balanced against the employer's interest in maintaining an efficient workplace. More recent cases, like McRae v. Matos, have further complicated matters by examining comments made online even before employment began. Justice Clarence Thomas himself raised concerns about allowing employers to claim disruption based on employees expressing disfavored political views, especially when those views are shared outside the workplace. In the wake of Kirk's death, institutions like Clemson University have already terminated employees and removed others from teaching duties due to social media comments. State officials, including Attorney General Alan Wilson and Rep. Nancy Mace, have publicly called for consequences, while organizations like the ACLU of South Carolina have condemned the targeted harassment of educators. Coastal Carolina University is now facing similar pressure from lawmakers like Congressman Russell Fry and Rep. Heather Crawford, highlighting the intense scrutiny educators are under. The public reaction has been swift and divided. While some support the employer's actions as necessary to maintain workplace order and public trust, others decry the firings as chilling free expression and a dangerous precedent. This situation is a stark reminder that online speech can have real-world consequences, pushing the boundaries of legal protections for educators. Will these firings stand, or will the courts redefine educators' free speech rights? Stick around as we uncover the full legal fallout and then pivot to a shocking media blind spot. You won't believe who they're not asking the tough questions about next. Media's silence. Why aren't they questioning supporters' violent rhetoric? We're diving into a critical issue of media accountability. While the news cycle has been dominated by reactions to Charlie Kirk's death and subsequent firings, a glaring double standard has emerged. The question on everyone's mind: why aren't major media outlets aggressively questioning the violent rhetoric coming from the supporters of a prominent politician? This isn't about a single incident. It's about a pattern of behavior that seems to be overlooked by many news organizations. While employees are facing immediate termination for their online posts, the individuals spewing hateful or violent messages in support of political figures are often met with silence or minimal scrutiny. This selective focus raises serious concerns about journalistic integrity and the potential for bias in reporting. The implications are far-reaching. When media outlets fail to hold accountable those who incite or glorify violence, it can embolden such behavior and further polarize society. The public deserves a media that holds all figures, regardless of their political affiliation, to the same standard of accountability, especially when it comes to speech that could incite harm. Fans and critics alike are taking to social media, calling out what they perceive as a biased approach. Many are demanding to know why certain political figure circles are seemingly exempt from the same intense questioning applied to others. This lack of critical examination is fueling distrust and calls for a more balanced and rigorous media landscape. Is this a deliberate omission or just a missed opportunity? We're digging deeper into this media narrative, and next, we're revealing the widespread firings happening across industries because of what workers posted online. You need to see this. Online posts, real consequences. Workers fired for mocking Charlie Kirk's death. This is a wake-up call for anyone with an online presence. In the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, a wave of workers across various industries are learning a harsh lesson. Your online posts can cost you your job. From American Airlines and NASDAQ to restaurants and law firms, employees are being ousted or suspended for contentious posts about the conservative activists' killing. The speed and scale of these firings are unprecedented. Many employees are being flagged by online activists and even prominent conservatives, like Vice President J.D. Vance, who have encouraged calling out individuals and their employers. Companies are scrambling to distance themselves from any political commentary that could damage their reputation, a trend that has intensified in recent years. This situation, however, presents a unique challenge for employers. As Vanessa Matsisma-Credi of Engage PEO notes, the sheer volume of backlash companies are now facing for employee posts. We're seeing major corporations like Washington law firm Perkins Coie, the Carolina Panthers, and even the Secret Service take swift action. ODP Corporation fired workers after a video surfaced of an employee refusing to print a Kirk Vigil poster. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has publicly called out Microsoft over employee posts, leading to an internal review. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and airline giants, United Airlines and Delta Airlines, have also voiced strong stances, emphasizing zero tolerance for justifying politically motivated violence. The union representing American Airlines pilots has even advised members to be discreet online. The impact on employees is significant. Legal experts confirm that private sector workers have limited legal protection for speech outside the workplace, especially when it's deemed disruptive. Many employers are at a tipping point, seeking to lower the temperature in the workplace. However, the challenge remains for companies to accurately identify which posts cross the line, as some workers claim they were fired for comments that didn't endorse violence or celebrate Kirk's murder. There have also been cases of mistaken identity, like Associate Principal Cynthia Rehaberg, who was wrongly targeted online, leading to safety concerns for her students and a retraction from the activist who promoted the false claim. These firings are a stark reminder of the power of online speech and employer reactions. But what about the flip side? We're now turning our attention to the chilling threats made against voters as political violence hits the courtroom. You don't want to miss this. We know where you live. Political violence on trial over threats to Trump voters. This week, the courts are confronting a dark side of political discourse: threats and intimidation. We're going inside the trials where political violence is being put on blast, specifically focusing on the chilling threats made against Trump voters. This isn't just about heated arguments, it's about actions that could silence dissent and endanger citizens. The cases being examined this week highlight the increasing polarization and the dangerous tactics being employed in the political arena. When threats are made, and people feel unsafe simply for their political affiliation, it strikes at the core of democratic engagement. These trials are crucial for understanding the legal boundaries of political expression and the consequences for those who cross the line into intimidation and threats. These legal battles are drawing significant attention, not only for the individuals involved, but for what they represent about the state of political discourse in the country. The testimony and evidence presented could set important precedents for how such threats are handled in the future, impacting elections and public safety. The public is watching closely to see if justice will be served and if these trials can help de-escalate the intense political climate. Public reaction has been a mix of concern and calls for strict enforcement. Many are emphasizing the need to protect all citizens from intimidation, regardless of their political leanings, while others are focused on the specific allegations and evidence presented in court. These proceedings serve as a stark reminder that political disagreements can spill over into dangerous territory, requiring legal intervention. Will these trials bring accountability and a sense of security, or will the threats continue? We've covered a lot of ground today, from free speech battles to political threats. Now, get ready for a rapid-fire recap and all the ways you can stay connected with TrendPop. And that's a wrap on today's TrendPop. We covered educators facing firings over political speech, the media's questionable silence on violent rhetoric, workers getting sacked for online posts about Charlie Kirk's death, and the chilling threats against Trump voters. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and drop a comment below telling us what you think. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials for even more exclusive content.